It was a warm Saturday morning in Oak Ridge, a quiet suburb just outside Detroit. The sound of sneakers squeaking on polished floors echoed through the town's modest community gym. Kids laughed, parents chatted, and the scent of sweat and hand sanitizer lingered in the air. 12-year-old twins Malik and Marlon James stood at the entrance of the karate dojo, nervously adjusting their crisp white uniforms. Their mother, Ms. James, tightened their belts with care and kissed their foreheads. "Be yourselves. Let the world catch up," she whispered, before walking them in. It was their first day at a new martial arts class, after switching from a program that had quietly but unmistakably treated them as outsiders. As they stepped onto the mat, the room fell oddly silent. Not completely, just enough. The eyes of the senior students, mostly older, mostly white, and mostly black belts, shifted toward them with something unspoken. A few subtle smirks. One whispered comment. "Guess this is gonna be fun." The twins caught it, they always did. Sensei Bradley, a lean man in his 50s with steely eyes and a stiff posture, greeted them with a nod. "We don't go easy here," he said sharply. "Respect is earned." Marlon gave a quick, polite bow. Malik followed, fists clenched a little too tightly. They were used to being tested, but something about this place felt colder than most. Li Chao. Warm-up drills began. Kicks, punches, kata forms. At first, everything seemed routine, but when sparring pairs were called, Malik and Marlon were randomly paired with two of the dojo's most aggressive black belts, teen boys nearly twice their size. What followed wasn't sparring. It was intimidation. Jabs thrown a little too hard, leg sweeps meant to bruise, shouts of "come on, faster," and laughter when the boys stumbled. Marlon hit the mat with a thud that echoed through the gym. Malik's knee was scraped raw. A few parents winced. One whispered, "Aren't they just kids?" But no one spoke up. Then came the twist no one was ready for. Sensei called for free sparring, a test of strategy, reflex, and endurance. Malik and Marlon were matched again with their tormentors. "Try not to cry," one of the black belts muttered with a smug grin. But this time, Malik and Marlon didn't hold back. Their bodies moved in harmony. Years of backyard practice, watching old Bruce Lee clips and late-night drills in their apartment's narrow hallway had prepared them for this. Every block was sharp, every counterattack precise. They weren't just fast, they were relentless. Marlon ducked a high kick, spun, and swept his opponent clean off his feet. Malik landed a perfect side kick that stopped the other boy in his tracks. The room went silent. Sensei's jaw clenched. Someone whispered, "Where did they learn that?" But the real surprise wasn't their skill. It was what came next. As the black belt boys limped back to the edge of the mat, humiliated, Marlon walked over and reached out a hand to his opponent. "You all right?" he asked softly. That was a tough fall. The boy blinked in shock, then nodded, taking his hand. That act of kindness shifted the air. Later that day, in the changing room, one of the other boys, the youngest black belt, approached them quietly. I'm sorry," he said. "They told me you guys were cocky, but you're not. You're just good and cool. I didn't know." Malik shrugged. "It's okay. We get that a lot, but thanks." That boy, Dylan, would go on to become one of their closest friends. The first to invite them over for pizza, the first to stand up for them when they were mocked again weeks later. Another act of kindness came from an unexpected place. Sensei Bradley. 2 weeks after the twins' powerful showing, he called their mom. "I misjudged your boys," he said, voice low but sincere. "They have discipline, honor, and more heart than I've seen in a long time. I want to offer them scholarships to train for their black belts here. No cost." Ms. James, speechless, wept quietly on the line. Months passed. The twins became pillars of the dojo, not because they fought the hardest, but because they trained the hardest. They mentored the younger kids. They asked questions. They listened. When a new student, a shy girl named Elena, joined and froze mid-kata in fear. Marlon stepped beside her. "Want to try it with me?" he asked, gently guiding her hands. She smiled. She nailed it. That small moment sparked a chain. The dojo started feeling lighter, less rigid, more inclusive, and not because anyone said they should, because kindness changed the culture. Malik and Marlon didn't just earn their black belts. They earned something much more powerful: respect, not through force, but through relentless kindness, quiet courage, and refusing to be anything less than exactly who they were. Can you imagine how they felt, walking into that room months later, and being greeted not with silence, but with smiles and high fives? Kindness changes everything, even places built on power and pride. So if this story moved you, hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs a little hope today. And tell us in the comments, what's one act of kindness you'll never forget? Subscribe for more real stories that show the power of the human heart, and check out our next video, where a bullied girl turns an entire school around with a single dance. Because one spark of kindness can light up